pocket ones. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ahana and here we talk about all things related to stationery, planners, productivity, organization and in general trying to live your best life. And if that interests you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Today we're back with another stationery video and you guys seem to love these. I made a few about different kinds of pens. I made one about ball pens and another about fountain pens and I will link that playlist above. And I have done several reviews about different kinds of planners available in the market. But today we are going to be talking about a very special kind of notebooks. For those of you who don't know, I love notebooks. I love all kinds of stationery and I use notebooks very frequently. I have a video linked here about the different kinds of journals I use and how I use them. I have used A4, A5 notebooks extensively during school and college, and even now for work I use diaries and A5 notebooks just to maintain a record of everything that I'm doing every day. But I have not really used a lot of A6 size notebooks or pocket notebooks. So that's why I went on Amazon and found a bunch of brands which are actually selling really cute pocket notebooks. And at first I thought they're going to be really blank or maybe a little bit of a Viro notepad sort of a situation and not exactly the notebook that I was looking for. But I was very surprised because I found some really good deals in here and I will show you whatever I got. I mainly got things from two brands. So there is Navneet's Youva collection, which in general, if you've checked out their Youva collection, their covers have become so amazing. I'm sad that I didn't have this when I was back in school, but Navneet's covers have really stepped up their game. And the other one is the Luxor notebooks. And I also have this one small notebook which is from Inkbucket. I did not buy it right now. It came with the planner but I haven't used it yet, so I thought I'll test it out with this haul. And this is another different kind of pocket notebook that I have today. Let's talk about Navneet first. This collection of pocket notebooks came for 200 rupees and there is 20 notebooks in here. And each of them have 112 pages. It's this tiny and just for reference, like against my hand, truly a pocket notebook. And the stitching looks really good and secure, so it will definitely not just fall off. Sometimes when it's not stitched and it's just glued at this end, you can see that the papers just come off very easily and that's not a good look. So I really like this. I'm going to write on it and check it out, but first I want to show you the different kinds of covers that are available. So one is this green one, then we have this really pretty pink one, then we have this bright yellow one, and we have this really cool blue one. I love the covers, they're amazing. So we have 20 notebooks, 5 of each kind. So I'm just going to put all of this aside and take any one and just write in it and check out what kind of ink it holds. So just for variety, I'm going to take one ballpoint, one gel and one fountain pen for each of the notebooks that I'm going to try on today and just see what the writing looks like, if the pages can hold, if there's any ghosting, bleed in, etc. But I can't see any GSM mentioned here, but the pages don't look too thick. So these are the 3 pens that I'm going to try out today. It's the Classmate Octane Gel Pen, the Octane Ball Pen, and then we have the Parker Fountain Pen. First we'll start with the ball pen because ball pens hold really well on this kind of paper. I write with a little bit of pressure, so there might be some amount of ghosting on the other page, but I don't think there'll be any bleeding. Let's check it out. Let's see. Yeah, so I do write with some amount of pressure and there is this significant ghosting. There is no bleeding, like the color hasn't bled through, but yeah, if you write with a little bit of pressure, then you will get to see it on the other side. So you might not be able to write very comfortably on back-to-back pages. Let's try the gel pen now. Okay, as expected, the ghosting is way less because gel pens in general, you don't need too much pressure and the ink flows very easily. So yeah, a little bit of ghosting. I wouldn't say no ghosting, but yeah, barely any, no bleeding at all. No bleeding. But the ghosting is also very less. And then we have the fountain pen. Okay, fountain pen needs even lesser pressure to write, so there is no bleeding at all and even fainter ghosting than the ballpoint pen and the gel pen. So I know it doesn't really make sense that you actually carry a fountain pen everywhere you go because it's a pocket notebook and essentially a notebook on the go. But if you're using any of them for like at home or at work or anything, if it's going to be on a desk, I think a fountain pen is going to give you the best results because it doesn't even smudge or anything and it actually holds the ink really well. So there's no amount of bleeding from any of the kind of inks. All in all, I would say for 10 rupees, it's great value for money. We move on to the Luxor pads and notebooks, right? So for some reason it kind of came in this sort of a package where one small notebook would also get me this one pocket notepad, and these were the kind of notepads that I was talking about. I'm not really thrilled about these. First of all, they have very few pages and the paper quality is really thin. It's 54 GSM, so in all likelihood everything will have at least a ghosting, significant ghosting, if not bleeding. So we're going to try this out and let's see how the ink holds on this one. So let's do the ball pen. Let's see what it does. Yeah, there is ghosting and there's a little bit of bleeding. Like I can see some of the color seep through. Not a lot, but yeah, a little. Let's try the gel. Okay, this one also has decent amount of ghosting. No bleeding yet, but yeah, it feels like it's just one step away from it. Now the fountain one. This one had very faint ghosting, but some amount of the ink is starting to bleed through at the points where I put a little bit more pressure. So I can see that ink is kind of seeping through it, but not too much. So not bad actually, because this is just 5 rupees and I would say it's a good buy. Like it does what it promises to do. It's a decent enough notepad. The spiral bound does not look too flimsy, will easily fit in your pocket, and it does not look like one of those spirals where the pages keep coming out. So yeah, I think this is a good one. But this actually came free with this one. So this I was really surprised because when I was looking for like A6 notebooks or pocket notebooks, I was not expecting to find a 4 subject notebook because these usually are way bigger. I have larger 5-6 subject notebooks and I use them extensively when I was in college. And those are super useful, but to have a small 4 subject notebook, I think this is really useful if you want to do some sort of like, you know, have a big project or task coming up and you want to separate it. Like if it's an event that you're planning, you might want to have like the catering and the venue and the decoration and everything like on a different tab for the people that you are meeting with, or maybe just numbers and contact details or just even ideas in it. So I thought this was a really good buy for the price. I think 2 of these were for somewhere around 250 to 300 rupees, and the pocket notebooks, one each came free with these. So I think that's a great deal. And these are single ruled and 70 GSM paper, so I imagine their performance is going to be better. I've actually used something of this sort, but an even smaller version. I don't know if they make those anymore, but that was super useful. Like I used to take that for college and I just noted down my different projects for different subjects according to the tabs, and that was really useful. Like projects or assignments or any kind of like work that I had to do, not the actual notes but just the work for the day pertaining to that particular subject. So that was really useful to keep everything, you know, separated and segregated. I know for a fact that paper is of really good quality because it's very smooth to touch, and also the white is like really bright. It doesn't look grainy or dim at all. And I don't know if it's coming in the camera properly, but in person it's really good quality paper. So let's do the usual drill. First we're writing with the ballpoint pen. Let's see how that fared. Okay, so yeah, since the paper quality is way thicker, it did so much better. There is barely any ghosting, like a little faint I can understand, but you will have no problem writing on both sides of this paper. This is beautiful paper quality. Let's try with the gel one. It feels so smooth to write on this paper. No ghosting, absolutely no bleeding, and no ghosting whatsoever. Let's see the fountain pen now finally. The thing with the fountain pen is that wherever I put a little bit extra pressure, that ink kind of reflects on the other page, but not a lot, like barely any, and there is zero ghosting. Like if I move my hand on it, I won't even understand there's something written on the other side. So, and I write with enough pressure, so that's a really good thing. So this one performs as expected for a 70 GSM paper, and to not have absolutely any ghosting when used with a fountain gel and ballpoint pen, it's amazing. I would really recommend this one. This is a really good notebook, and also to have like a 4-subject notebook of this size, you can use it for so many things. Speaking of, do you have a lot of blank notebooks around your house and you're not sure of how to use them, and you want some help in generating ideas on how to make the best use of some of your blank notebooks? Then let me know in the comments down below, and I'll come up with a video for that, because I also have a lot of blank notebooks around my house and I need to make use of them. So maybe this will be a good excuse for both of us. And finally, I want to talk about the Inkbucket pocket notebooks. Obviously, yeah, I did not buy it this time and it came in the pack, but I haven't tried it yet. In general, Inkbucket planners have really good GSM, so I'm not too worried about the paper quality as such, and the cover is also pretty good, thick cardstock, and the paper feels smooth to touch and it feels thicker than like the notepad papers I used. But still, let's put it to the test and see how it does with the different kinds of ink. First, we have the ballpoint pen. Let's see how that goes. As expected, there is very faint amount of ghosting, very faint, but no bleeding at all. Moving on to the gel pen. Okay, the ghosting is even less and no bleeding. And the final test, the fountain pen. Not even the ink lines, which sometimes reflect when I put too much pressure in any one point, not even that. So it's absolutely no ghosting or bleeding. And yeah, that was the Inkbucket. So I think these were all the pocket notebooks that I had. I am really surprised to see that the Parker pen actually did the best on all surfaces, but all of these notebooks actually will work really well with any kind of pen that you take. I would just suggest that if you're taking the Luxor pocket notepad or the Youva notebook, maybe try not to write with too much pressure. Other than that, you're good to go. They're all great brands and they're all great products. So if you happen to try any of them, please let me know in the comments down below. If you like using pocket notebooks, or if you have a bunch of blank notebooks lying around your house like I do, let me know in the comments and we'll come up with something for next week. So that was the video, guys. I hope you got to know some interesting things about some of your favorite notebook brands and explore a few pocket notebooks that you had not seen before. Let me know in the comments down below if you decide to buy any of these, and if you are already using, which one's your favorite. Please let me know, and I will see you next week. Bye.